Wait, what's that? All right, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just see here. We will wait a few minutes, I suppose. Hopefully you guys can hear me, I hope. Hopefully we got some guitar noise happening as well. You have to forgive me, guys. I have no clue what I'm doing here. No clue. No clue, no clue. No clue. How do I even view my stream? I don't know what I'm doing. Copy. That's the stream URL. I just go. Can we hear? Can we hear? Live stream. Let's hit that. Waiting for mix. June 16th, 2014. What the hell? That doesn't seem right. I'm live. Yay. There I am. Hopefully we got some noise happening. Wow. Sorry guys, I'm staring blankly at the screen here. Trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. This is kind of a new thing for me. So bear with me while I work through this. I'm going to wait for a few folks to join the stream. I have no clue what I'm doing, so be nice. Let's see. Here we go. We'll watch it over here. So hello. Terribly sorry about the audio and all this kind of stuff, but I'm just getting used to this. I haven't actually done this before, so I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Hopefully a few more folks will join, and then we can start to chat. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on with the channel that I'm very, very excited about, and just wanted to share with you guys. Going to just wait a few more minutes. I'm a little bit, just kind of a little bit behind schedule, so if you'll bear with me when we get a couple more bodies in here, we will get started. I'm playing around with my 1977 Strat here. This is the one that I refinished. This was given to me in parts by a dear friend, and it was stripped down, had no electronics, no nothing, and you know, we actually managed to bring this thing back to life, so pretty excited about that. There's lots of videos on the channel about this. Hopefully you guys can hear the guitar as well. But a couple of things I wanted to talk about tonight were some new things that are going on with the channel. You know, I've been, over the past year or so, very, very, very busy working on a number of things outside of YouTube, and didn't really have a whole lot of opportunity to put time into this, but things have changed a little bit, and I have a bit more time to put into it, so I'm working on doing exactly that. So what's happening now is we have a bunch of things going on. Number one, there's a website under development for Lucas Crossley Guitar, which I'm really excited about. It's lucascrossleyguitar.com. It's not launched yet, but it's in development. We're going to have a lot of things going on over there. We're going to have the blog posts going on. We'll also be putting up product reviews and things like that. And my long-term plan is to have a space available for lessons, where I can have downloadable lessons available for folks as well. That I think would be something I'd really like to do. And who knows, we'll be able to expand on what we're doing with the website and do all kinds of different stuff with it over time. So I'm pretty excited about that. The second thing is that I've partnered up with a local music store here, Gilbert Guitars. They used to have a shop here in Barrie, but they also have one in Aurelia that's been there for many, many years. They're actually taught at both of their stores, and we are bringing in a whole bunch of special guitars, really rare stuff to review for you guys. The first one's coming in actually tomorrow. It's a very rare Fender Strat, only 350 of them ever made in the world. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much, but we're going to be reviewing some pretty special instruments and things like that in partnership with Gilbert Guitars. So that is really cool. I'm very, very excited about that. And the last sort of big piece of news that I have is, sorry, just going to say hello here, is I have a special guest who's going to be joining me this weekend at some point. Now, we're trying to figure out if we're going to do like a YouTube live or Facebook, or maybe we're going to just record a video and then put it up after the fact. But I'm really excited about this. He's a guy that I've been following for a long, long time. If you saw my Facebook posts earlier this week, which is at Lucas Crossley Guitar as well, for Facebook, Instagram as well, you can follow me there. He is a pretty well-known player. His name is Ollie Brown, and he started back in, I think, 2008. He released his first record, and then his second album came out in 2010. We actually, my band, we used to cover 3 of the tunes off of that record, and since then, Ollie's gone on to form another group called RavenEye, and they've toured with Aerosmith. They've toured with Kiss. He's opened for Joe Satriani. He's an amazing guitar player, an amazing singer, and just an all-around super nice guy. So I'm really looking forward to getting to sit down with him and just kind of nerd out on guitars and tone and whatever. We haven't really decided exactly what we're going to discuss. We don't have a set agenda specifically. We just want to talk and shoot the breeze and whatever topics come up, they come up. I'm hoping to do this on YouTube Live because I thought it might be nice for people to be able to come on and ask him questions directly. He's certainly a wealth of knowledge, having spent the last number of years, touring and playing professionally and so on. So I think that's a really wonderful opportunity. I'm very much looking forward to having Ollie come along and be available to chat with everybody. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Other than that, we're just working on some new videos for you guys. We've been playing around with a little Squire Mini over here. I had a lot of fun with you guys on Facebook here. There was quite a few people that were playing along trying to guess the guitar. I was taking pictures of, just sections of the guitar and posting it online and trying to make people figure out what it was. It's only got 2 tone controls and, the string through body, not a string through body, but string through bridge up here. And, it was fun getting everybody to guess. But what we've done with that guitar is actually taken it and done a bunch of work to it to make it really playable. And it actually plays really, really well. It's my youngest son's guitar. We thought we would basically show you that, if you're considering purchasing a guitar for a younger person like this, that you might want to do a few things just to improve the playability. I posted a video a little while ago about sort of choosing your first guitar, whether you should choose an electric or an acoustic guitar. If you watch that video, you know that my recommendation is, at least for young people anyway, is to purchase an electric guitar and start there. If those are the kinds of songs and musicians that you're listening to. If they play electric guitar, then it makes a lot of sense for you to go that route. The challenge is that the entry-level stuff that you buy is, it's never great quality stuff. It's usually pretty inexpensive, and as a result, there can be some challenges and issues with it. And there was no exception on my son's guitar. I had to do the intonation. I had to adjust the neck on it. I had to take the nut out and redo that to get it playing properly and keeping it in tune. We had to tighten up all the machine heads, tighten up the tuning keys. There's a lot of work that needed to be done on it. Well, I shouldn't say a lot, but it took about an hour and a half or so of time to invest into it. And now it plays really well. It stays in tune pretty good. And so, you know, I thought it'd be nice to share that kind of those kind of tips for you, so that if you're buying a guitar for your son or daughter and you get one of these entry-level budget guitars, because let's face it, we don't know if they're going to stick with it, you would at least have you know, some insight as to some things you could do to kind of set it up and make it play a little bit better. So so anyway, I'm just going to kind of hang around here. I'm going to play a little bit. If you guys have any questions at all, you know, please feel free to ask away. I'll do my best to answer them if I can. Hopefully you can hear the guitar. Yeah, we'll be as soon as we get the technical bugs worked out for live streaming with a guest, which I hope to get done very soon. With a little luck, we'll get Ollie in here, and you guys can pick his brain. He's got some amazing experience, everything from recording, songwriting, singing, all of that kind of stuff. In fact, you should look him up on Facebook. He's a lot of musicians these days, unfortunately, are, you know, they can't tour, they can't go out and promote their records, they can't do shows. It's really unfortunate. So they don't have a good way of you know, sort of their main source of revenue is basically cut off, and you know, we really have no idea of knowing how long that's going to be in effect for these people, and it's really, really unfortunate. So you know, look him up, check out some of his albums. He's got some killer stuff. He's also doing something that's kind of been really fun lately too on Facebook, called Guitar Tribe, and it's awesome. Like, if you join up, there's no cost. It's just it's a closed group on Facebook. But if you join up and you've got questions, it's an amazing community of musicians that really pull together and try and help each other out, which is awesome. And Ollie gets right in there and answers questions, you know, for everybody. Doesn't matter the level of your playing or anything like that. If you have questions about anything related to music, whether it's, you know, vocal exercises or singing, composition, any of that kind of stuff, he's happy to chat about that kind of stuff. So check him out, support him. You know, he's a good guy, and got some great music. RavenEye is a crazy good band. So check it out. So who have we got watching here tonight? Who's there? Anybody brave enough to say hello? I'll be honest with you guys. I was actually really nervous doing this because I've never really done this before. So, and I was having all kinds of technical issues and all this kind of stuff. Maybe if some of you experts out there can teach me how to use OBS with a Mac, that'd be pretty cool. I had it working a long time ago, but then I had a major computer issue, and it died on me, and then I had to reinstall everything, and it just isn't quite the same now. If you got any questions about any of the gear I've got back there, I've got some old amps. I've got that Trainer, the big one sitting up there. That's a 1967 Trainer custom reverb. A really nice sounding amplifier. That's an EL34 based amp, about 45 watts. That one has the Marshall mod on it. A little bit too loud for this little room, but it's a lot of fun. And then I've got another Trainer here. That one there is a Trainer YGM3 1977. It's the same vintage as the guitar, which is kind of cool. Hopefully I'm still in the shot here. And then I've got a couple of PV amps as well that are just kind of fun for taking out and banging around with. And then my main one would be the 2-Rock here. That's a 2-Rock EXO head. That's a 15 watt amp. A really nice sounding amp. And then it's running through a 212 2-Rock Artist cabinet. That cabinet actually used to belong to Matt Schofield. In fact, actually, it was used. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to make this out or not, but it was used in New Orleans on the Anything But Time record, which is pretty cool. This is the shipping label. I'm showing you this because this is the shipping label when the cabinet was sent back to Matt. So that's pretty cool. I'm really lucky to have to have that. That's a pretty nice piece for me to have. I'm a big Matt Schofield fan, so that's kind of nice. So. Right now, I just have the guitar plugged straight into to the computer through the Helix. That way, I don't have to mic anything up and make a bunch of racket and stuff that way. I don't know how well it sounds on your end. I hope it's okay. I'll work on getting better sound quality for you guys. I see some folks are there. Hello, guys. Hope you guys are well. I hope everybody's keeping safe, keeping happy as best we can. What's everybody working on these days? What are you all practicing? What kind of content do you want to see on the channel? You know, I've just been sort of kind of doing whatever I can get my hands on. You know, I'd like to do some more lessons for sure. Maybe some more how-to stuff. I like doing the DIY thing. You know, I'm certainly one that's going to take a guitar and pull it apart and try and fix something if I can. Most of the gear that's in here has been bought, you know, on the used market and, you know, things like that. I haven't, you know, gone out and bought anything new. In fact, the only new guitar I bought in the last number of years is the Gibson Studio back there. The rest of these guitars are all kind of old and beat up, and I've been putting them together however I can. So I'll grab another one though that I want to show you guys. It's kind of an interesting guitar. It's actually the first electric guitar I ever bought for myself. Just give me a second here and I'll grab it. It's this one here. It is an interesting guitar. It's really pretty old. I think I bought it back in about, oh God, probably 1982, something like that. I'd been banging around on an acoustic guitar for a number of years before I bought this. And this is a Japanese guitar. This is a Matsumoto. You'll sometimes hear that name. Kind of an interesting animal. It's got a couple of humbuckers in it, as you can see. It needs some work. It's in rough shape. It's got a coil splitter here as well, which is kind of neat. It's an ash guitar too, so it's heavy, heavy, heavy. It weighs like 10 pounds. The frets are worn almost flat on it. Yeah, but anyway, this was the first guitar I ever bought for myself. Way back, all those years ago. It's got lots of dings and dents in it and stuff from being dragged all over the place. And but it needs some TLC. So this is one that I'm going to be putting a bit of effort back into putting it back, you know, to its former glory days, I guess you could say. But it's a nice guitar. Yeah, it's a nice sounding instrument, but it weighs a ton. I can't imagine trying to do a whole gig with this thing. Actually outweighs my Les Paul. It's over 9 pounds, 9.5 pounds, which is crazy because you can see they actually did try to lighten the load with these F-holes in here. But I will tell you, if you can find, and sometimes you can on Kijiji or Craigslist or whatever you got, these Japanese-made guitars, the quality in these things is is like unbelievable. Really, really good quality guitars. Considering the number of years that this thing has been used and abused, it still holds up pretty well. And then I'll show you guys another Strat as well. And that's this one. This is the Highway 1. If you guys have been following the channel for a little bit, you're familiar with this one. This one just had the Tone Emporium pickups installed in it recently, which I need to do a review on as well. They're nice sounding pickups. This one's set up quite a bit. Quite a bit different than the other guitars. It's got heavier strings on it. Right now, they're not super heavy, but they're kind of a light bottom, heavy top. These are a 10 to 52 on here, and the action's a little bit higher. Kind of more for that blues sort of thing. But it's got lovely tone. Hopefully you can hear it. Yeah, so these are the Tone Emporium pickups that we put in here a little while ago. They do that Strat thing real well, in my opinion. For the best, especially for the price. If you guys know, you saw on the channel, we only paid 99 bucks for these. You know, so I think for what you get, you know, they're pretty good. These were a 42 gauge scatter wound pickup, Alnico 5, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're low output. They're only 6K, and actually all 4 pickups are 6K, so they're the same across the range, which is actually kind of nice. Ironically, that's what PRS has done with their Silver Sky as well. All 3 pickups are the same output rating, and that sounds really nice to me. And I'm not saying this is going to sound like a PRS or anything, but it is supposed to get you kind of the comparable would be like a Custom Shop 69 sort of pickup. These are supposed to be kind of in that ballpark. So, you know, I thought, what the hell, for $100, I'd give it a try. So, yeah, anyway. Still no takers willing to say hi in the chat, though, eh? Let me see if I can get anybody going here. I appreciate you guys taking a bit of time to hang out with me. I know it's you've probably got a lot of things better to do with your time than hang out, but I do appreciate you guys taking time to stop by. Certainly, I mentioned before, the channel is growing, and it's really all due to the support that I'm sort of getting from all of you guys. So I really do appreciate that very much. Thank you. And there's also been a lot of really good interaction, you know, kind of in the comment sections and stuff like that with folks with you know, really good ideas and really nice things to say, and kind of seeing people even helping each other out a little bit, which is really cool too. Certainly, you know, it's nice to see guitar players and people who are interested in guitar and music in general that are, you know, being supportive of each other. We're all learning. You know, I have some experience, but I have lots to learn too, and certainly I try and learn as much as I can each and every day. So, you know, if we can empower each other that way to learn, then you know, and support each other through it. It's a journey for sure, right? So I think that's a cool thing. So what's everybody playing these days? What kind of music? Who are we listening to? Maybe that's a great topic. I've been listening to actually a lot of podcasts, especially on guitar theory. But music-wise, man, there's so many great players out there right now. As you guys know, I'm a huge Matt Schofield fan. The guy changed the way I look at guitar. And I think for those of you who are familiar with his music, you probably feel kind of the same way. Really makes you think differently about everything. But there's guys like Matt. There's Marcus King. Oh my God, what a voice that guy has! Unbelievable. We have Josh Smith and geez, there's just so many. Phil Sace and all these guys that are just so incredible to listen to and what they do. I've been on a big Josh Smith kick for quite a while. He's like super deep, that guy. He's obviously spent a ton of time, just playing scales and working modes and whatever. The guy's just so versatile in what he does. And crazy part, these guys are all like, it's nice when they get together and they play together. They do a lot of that at like the NAMM events and stuff. And they're like super humble, they get together and play and have a good time, and it's cool. So for me, I've been trying to put time into really, really basic music theory, scales and playing scales, multiple chord changes, kind of like in one position. That's been something that I've been sort of trying to get more comfortable with, just become better at visualizing the fingerboard and playing through those chord changes. Triads, working on triads and making sure I have those things down as well. It's been something that I've been trying to do. I don't know about you guys, but I'd be really curious to hear what you guys are working on, or things that are interesting to you. Who do you listen to that you just can't stop listening to? I've been listening to Matt for a long time, and I still I still listen to the music all the time. So and what about guitars? Have you guys tried any new guitars lately that you're kind of keen on? I did spend some time with a Silver Sky, actually a few of them, and I was pretty impressed with it. I really liked it. I don't know if anybody else has tried one, but I thought they were awesome. Like there's a little lick I just did there where I was here at the C, and then I just played down to that C major chord shape right there, right? I don't remember exactly what I did, but so it's kind of cool, like to be able to vision your fretboard like that. You can see those chords are right there, and you can play straight out of those chords. There's one lick that Matt does when he plays out of the on the turnaround. So he'll play out of this 5. He's literally playing the chords, right? Right? It's literally just all of the notes of the chord. And I did a masterclass with him. Actually, if you're into him, you should check out TrueFire, because he's got a killer course on TrueFire right now called Playing the Changes. I think it was like $15, $20. Like, it's stupid cheap, and it's really good. But I would tell you, if you do the course, you need to have a handle on, all 5 positions of major, minor, pentatonic. Mixolydian is good if you have that. And, if you kind of know you're diminished, which I don't, I need to work on that. But if you know you're diminished really, really well, those are the kind of main things that Matt focuses on through his playing. But the guy's vision on how, like, you get through chord changes, you probably heard the 4 chord in that C, right? I was mucking about in C here, right? Back to the 1, right? So these little things that he does that just leads your ear through the chord changes is really cool, Back to the 1 there. So there's all these things. I'm not going to pretend to have a firm grasp on it, but I have the basics. But it's certainly something that I've been working on and want to continue to try and improve on if I can. That's a big one for me. Sometimes it's hard to find the time, and at least one positive anyway that's come out of all this COVID nonsense, for me at least, is that I have found a little bit of time to do things that maybe I couldn't do before, and can't get out and play anymore. So let's make YouTube videos, right? So Yeah. Does anybody have any questions at all? Anything you'd like to ask? Anything you want to share? Thoughts, ideas? Something you'd like to see? You'd like to see on the channel? Maybe something lessons-wise. Is there something you're working on, or maybe something you can share with me as well? I'm always trying to learn, but I love that big bend there. I don't know why I always do that. That was it. That lick back to the one there. I don't remember what I did. So if you want to just, depending on where you are and you're playing, you know, typically I remember the first thing I learned was that minor pentatonic scale, right? When you were learning to play your first guitar solos. I remember, you know, just playing over top of that. Over and over and over again. So, you know, you've got that. You can add to that the flat 5. Now we have the blues scale, right? Which is nice. So now all of a sudden you've got a few more tricks. And then the other one that's a real simple one that a lot of folks can just add in right away is the major and minor third, which is here. That right there. When you're going from the C to the C sharp in A, in the case of key of A, for example. And it occurs if you're playing in the first position, it occurs in a couple of spots. So just with the addition of those three things, so the flat 5 to make it the blues scale, the minor pentatonic, of course, and then the major third, that all of a sudden makes the playing sound just that much more sophisticated. So if you're new and you're looking for some things to do, adding those notes in, kind of make it one big scale, right? Right? And you can mix and match that all kinds of different ways to get all kinds of different possibilities. And there's all these little licks and things you can do out of that really expand it. And if you're playing along to like a backing track or something, one thing you should probably try, if you can, a lot of guys, what they'll do is when they're learning, they'll blow that minor pentatonic scale right over top of all of the chord changes, right? And it works. You can do that, especially if if you're targeting at least the tonic of each of the chords, right? So if we're playing an A, we've got the 1, we've got the 4, and we've got the 5. So we've got A, we've got D, and we've got E. So you can sit there on the minor pentatonic and play that. Still on the 1. Now we'll go to the 4. I added the note. So I have a hard time just playing pentatonic. And 5. So you can still target the chord changes even just within that minor pentatonic shape. So that's something to practice, is just staying in the minor pentatonic and grabbing the 1, trying to stick around the 1. Then make sure you hit that D note when you're on the 4, hit that E note when you're on the 5, and just kind of get used to doing that. And when you get comfortable with that, then you can try to do things that are maybe a little bit more sophisticated, right? So, for example, for me, like one of the licks I use all the time. Let's say I'm in my 1 here and I'm playing on the 1 chord. Right there, right? What I'm doing is I'm going to the 3rd of that D chord, right? If you play that D7 chord right there, that F sharp is the 3rd. So just run down to that 3rd in the lick and it leads your ear to that chord, right? E, D, I screwed it up. So you can hear the chord changes, you know, as you're playing, and there's just, this is what Matt's TrueFire, of course, is about. And he's not using those licks, but he's got a much better approach to it and more experience doing it than what I do. But the cool part about it is that when you play like that, you know, you can play chord changes without, you know, actually kind of playing chords, right? So a great way that was once described to me was by Matt, and he actually said that the way he looks at guitar and the way he approaches a guitar solo, is that, you know, a guitar solo is the notes of the chord played one after another instead of all at once, you know. So he's really looking at the actual chord shapes and the notes that are being played in the chord, and that's what he's using in his playing. He's not really like, you know, unfortunately a lot of us when we learn, it's just shapes, right? It's position 1, position 2, whatever. And it's not until sometime later when we start to realize that, you know, all we should be doing is just playing the notes from the chords. So I've got a long way to go in this myself personally, but I'm certainly trying, and I think I at least have some idea of the concept anyway. So you know, and you can do that with like just standard chords and like triads, right? So let's say you're playing I don't know. So we'll play like G, C, A minor, and D. So you've got all these triad shapes that you could use to outline your guitar solo with, so that you could actually kind of, you know, target the root, the third, and the fifth, and you know, kind of lead the ear through the changes. Now that chord progression is also in the key of G, so you could blow you know, like a G major or like an Ionian mode if you wanted to do it that way, or more likely like a G major pentatonic over the whole thing. But if you were to target those roots and those thirds on the chord changes, it might be a little bit more interesting for the listener to hear that. Again, something I'm really just kind of starting to explore myself. Starting to get a handle on it a little bit, but I've got a long way to go. It almost messes me up because, you know, before I didn't think as much about what I was playing. And nowadays, you know, I'm constantly like looking, you know, I'm playing this G and I'm like, okay, my D, where's my D? Well, I could do my D there. I could do my D here. I could do it here. You know, I got all these options. Trying to play where I'm, you know, kind of keeping things close, but I do find that sometimes I'm overthinking it a little bit. So. What about favorite guitars? What do we think there? Any Gibson folks in the house? I like Gibsons a lot. I'll grab my my Les Paul. I'd like a 335. That's one of my dream guitars. Such a great sounding guitar. So this is my Les Paul. This is a 2014. So it's the anniversary edition, which is kind of cool. This one is Desert Burst. It's well played. Also, as you can see by the wear on it. Oops. Hey, it's even in tune-ish, I think. Yeah, these are wicked guitars for the money. You know, Gibson's kind of a funny... I find Gibsons and Fenders to be so radically different. You know, there's things I like about each guitar and things I dislike about each guitar. You know, on a Gibson like this... I love the bridge. The bridge just makes sense to me because the bridge is radiused to the fingerboard, and there's no real adjustment to be done there once the saddles are in there. That's how it sits. You can raise and lower it, but it's correctly radius to the fingerboard. When you play a Strat, there's so many more adjustments and things that you have to do to it. I just find these are so much more. The setup just makes more sense, the way this bridge works on these things. But I hate that there's no belly cut. I don't like that especially the belly cut. But even here, the carved top, I guess, is a little bit different. The Strat just feels like it just fits your body really well, whereas the Gibson tends not to. But they're so ridiculously playable. The action you can get on them is so low, and they just play like butter. They just real easy. They're like effortless to play. You can get crazy low action. Gibson, unlike Fender, they pleck all their guitars, which is kind of cool. I've got this one, and then my Strat, my 77, the boat anchor over there. It's plecked as well, and I find that for me, those guitars, I've been able to get the best setups on those guitars compared to any of the others that I've owned over the years. So I am a little bit of a believer in the pleck in terms of a good setup. I've had this guitar. I bought this in 2014. As you can hopefully see there, it's the 120th anniversary edition. It's never needed any fretwork, and I've had some pretty heavy strings on here. I think right now I've only got maybe 11s on here, but I've had some goofy heavy strings on this thing, and certainly a heavy string is going to require a little more pressure, and if you're going to put any wear on the guitar, that's how you're going to do it. And it's held up really well. So they have something they call cryogenically frozen frets. I don't really know if that's just marketing mumbo jumbo, but they say that it makes the frets harder. And I could almost believe that because this is held up really well. This one's got the coil taps on it as well, which I almost never use, to be honest with you. But it's a nice guitar. I really like it. One thing I'm not sure about, maybe you guys can let me know what you think, but this is a roasted maple neck on this guitar, and it's been very good from a stability point of view. Like, I haven't had to tweak it or adjust it or I've never had to do the neck relief on it. I've never had to do any of that stuff. In my studio over here that you're seeing is in the garage. So, it gets cold, it gets hot, it gets, whatever. And you'd think that, that would be an issue, but it's never been a problem. So from a stability point of view, it certainly seems to me like roasted maple is certainly a good thing. That's what a lot of, that's what the proponents of it tell you, right? It's good because it's really stable. But I've never really bonded with the feel of it the same way I would with rosewood. I don't know what it is about it. I had a USA Jackson Soloist as well, and I went through the same thing with that. Anyway, lots of fun. This one rips too. I love the bridge pickup on this thing. It just screams. Yeah, it's killer. The easy for me to say. The neck pickup here, I always found to be kind of dark, but yeah, overall pretty nice guitars. I'd definitely love to add a 335 at some point, but anyway, guys, so that's been an hour. So I think I'm going to wrap it up. But once again, you know, thank you guys for coming on and chatting a little bit. I certainly do appreciate it. You know, stick around. Once we get Ollie out here, you guys can ask him some questions, because he's way more of an expert than I am. Certainly think that he'll have a lot of good insight for you guys. So definitely check him out. Looks like we've got a few viewers on here. So does anybody have any questions at all? So just as a reminder, in case you missed it, we're launching a new website, which is cool. Pretty excited about that. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get it done, but you know, probably another couple of weeks at least. So that'll be lucascrossleyguitar.com. Hope to see you guys there. Would be cool. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, you know, all those things. It's Lucas Crossley Guitar on any one of those platforms. We're doing Patreon now too, so you know, these things, that take time to produce these things and do all this stuff. So you know, any help is certainly appreciated. And really excited about this new guitar that we're going to be getting in here tomorrow at some point. So I'll have to sneak out some sneaky pictures of it. It's not my guitar. I'm just doing a demo for somebody on it. But if you guys are curious to see, I'm going to show you sneak peeks. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag as to what it is until the videos are done for it. But I'm pretty excited about it, for sure.